Checking your horse's heart rate is the next one, and although it can be difficult to detect your horse's heart rate without a stethoscope, there are a couple tricks that might be able to help you. Although you could just get yourself a stethoscope because monitoring your horse's heart rate can give you a lot of information, but I'm trying to give tips to people who don't have these things on hand. And the reason heart rate matters is because it can give us a lot of information about what the horse is feeling and going through. So the horse's heart rate will go up when they're experiencing pain or stress. And obviously when they're being active and they are hot and hairy and the sun is out, their heart rate will also go up. But I'm just talking about a resting heart rate, what a normal heart rate should be for your horse. Now the numbers vary a lot depending on the size of your horse, the age of your horse, and how fit your horse is, and so on. But starting off with the average horse's heart rate, which is 30 to 40 beats per minute. Now the smaller the horse, the faster their heart rate will be. The bigger the horse, the slower the heart rate will be. An athletic horse will have a slower heart rate. So that's all things to keep in mind. So if you don't have a stethoscope, like I don't, here are a couple tricks that might be able to help you detect your horse's heart rate. So you're gonna go right behind their left elbow and press your hand up against their chest. And it might be able to help if you really force your hand in there and maybe even place your ear on top and just listen and try to feel for it. Now it can be really difficult to detect the heart because obviously they have a lot of mass. So that's why a stethoscope is helpful to have. But if they have a faster, harder heart rate, it'll be easier to detect. So if your horse is having an issue and having a faster heart rate, it'll be easier to detect. So once you find the pulse, you can either use a timer or you can just count, but you will count to 15 and you'll make note of how many times the heart beats in those seconds, and then you'll multiply 15 by 4 and you'll figure out how many beats per minute that is. Also take note that it kind of sounds like the heartbeat has 2 beats when it pumps because it's a ba-dump. So you don't want to count both of those ba-dumps as 2, it's just 1 beat. So ba-dump is 1 beat, so you want to listen for that and make note of how many times it beats in a minute. Another place that's pretty easy to find the pulse if you can't seem to find it on their chest is on their face artery under their jaw. So you can press your finger up there and you'll probably be able to feel a pulse. And again, that should be pulsing the same rate as the heart. Like I said, a horse that is having an abnormal, faster, harder heartbeat will be easier to detect without a stethoscope, so you'll be able to know if your horse is having a problem. But it is also nice to know what your horse's average heart rate is, so you'll know as soon as it goes up. It's also pretty fascinating knowing that the horse's heart rate goes up when they're in pain, and I've even heard saddle fitters use that as a way to know that if a saddle is causing them pain or not. They'll monitor their heart rate and they'll apply pressure to certain areas, and if their heart rate will go up, they'll know how much pain that they're in.